Hi everyone, welcome to today's beginner yoga class. My name is Cassandra, so let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable cross-legged position. You'll want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, palms staying down onto the knees, shoulders rolling down and away from the ears, and start sending your breath all the way down into your belly, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Trying not to slouch. Gentle tuck of the chin to keep the back of the neck long. Staying grounded on both sits bones. Take 3 more breaths right here. And staying sitting up nice and tall. From here, we're just going to bring our fingertips down onto the mat, and as you inhale, both arms reach up, palms come to touch. Inhale deeply, and exhale, release the palms back down, drop your shoulders. Inhale, both arms reach up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release. One more, exactly like that. Reach your palms up, come to touch, and move into a side bend. Right palm drops down onto the mat, left fingertips reach up and over. Make sure you're rolling your left shoulder down and away from your ear here. And try not to roll on one side more than the other. Bending from the waist. Then inhale, come back up through to center, and we'll switch sides. Both arms reach up, breathe in, and as you exhale, left palm comes down, right fingertips reach up and over. Really send your breath deep into the right side of your ribs here, feeling a nice extension from your armpit all the way down into your hip. Come back up on an inhale, release your palms, we'll move into a twist. Inhale, both arms reach up, and this time as you exhale, bring your left palm over your right knee, right fingertips come in behind you. Stay long through the spine here. We're not trying to twist too deep. Relax your shoulders down. Belly stays engaged. One more deep inhale right here, and softly release. Both arms come up, inhale, and as you exhale, your right palm goes over your left knee, left fingertips reach behind you. Twist from the navel up. Relax your shoulders. Keep sitting up nice and tall. And let's release, coming back through to center, and we'll come into Baddha Konasana. Butterfly the legs, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, knees come apart. Sit up nice and tall here before coming into a forward fold, so reaching your palms out in front of you, gently melting head and heart down towards the mat. Trying not to force your way into any shape here, just let gravity slowly pull you down, and don't worry about how far down you're going. We're just trying to loosen up the hips, getting a little bit more mobility through the lower body, warming up the spine before we start to flow. So come back to that nice deep breath in and out through the nose. Slowly walk your palms back up, and let's come onto hands and knees for a few rounds of cat and cow again, just to warm up the spine. So palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your wrists. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, curl tailbone up. On the exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, tailbone curls under. A few more just like that. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, elbows stay straight. Exhale, round your spine, tailbone curls under, relax your neck here. Inhale, drop the belly, squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back, arching your back here. Exhale, rounding the spine, belly button hugs in. Coming back into your neutral tabletop pose, walk your palms an inch or two forward, step your feet back, coming into high plank, or your high push-up position. If you need to come onto your knees, feel free to do so. Keep pressing firmly into your heels, breathing deeply here. Weight is in your knuckles and fingertips. Take another deep inhale here. And then drop your left knee to the center of your mat. Bring your left palm to the center of your mat. And as you inhale, your right fingertips reach up towards the sky. So we're coming into a modified side plank. You're pressing your hips up towards the sky as high as you can, maintaining a really nice long extension through the right side of your body. Look wherever is comfortable. Lower your right palm back down onto the mat and we'll switch sides. So right knee comes in, left foot steps out, right palm to the center of your mat, left fingertips reach up towards the sky, trying to stack your left shoulder over your right, pressing your hips up as high as you can. Stay connected to your breath here. 2 more. And let's release the left palm back down onto the mat, and we'll come into downward facing dog. So curling your toes under, send your hips up and back. You'll want your feet to be hip width distance apart, your palms are shoulder width distance apart, and bend your knees as much as you need to. And in fact, it might feel really good here to paddle the feet a little bit. So to bend one knee, straightening the other leg, just doing any little movements that you need to do to get comfortable. You're curling your tailbone up towards the sky and letting your neck be fully relaxed. Look forward and step your right foot in between your palms to the top of the mat, high on the ball of your left toes. Sink your hips, look up. And as you exhale, we're going to straighten the right leg and fold down over that right thigh. And we'll do that a few more times. So moving with your breath. As you inhale, start to bend your right knee. You're into your lunge, dropping your hips, look up. And as you exhale, hips go up and back, straightening your right leg, folding over your right thigh. Inhale, bending through that right knee, drop your hips, look up, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, fold forward, straightening through that right leg. Let's do that again. Inhale, come into your lunge, sink your hips. And then this time, step your right foot back to meet your left, high plank pose. And as you exhale, come all the way down onto your belly, maybe lowering your knees down first. Bending at the elbows, close towards the ribs. And let's come into cobra pose. Palms stay down onto the mat. As you inhale, chin and chest lift up. Keep your elbows hugging in towards your ribs. Your shoulders are rolling down and away from your ears. Legs and feet stay down onto the mat. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, lower down, and we'll make our way back into downward facing dog. Curling your toes under and sending your hips up and back. And we'll go do the same thing that we did here on the second side. So this time you'll be stepping your left foot forward in between your palms. Stay high on the ball of your right toes. Sink your hips down, gently look up, stay onto your fingertips here. And as you exhale, straighten your left leg, fold over your left thigh. Release your neck, let your head drop down. Inhale, bend at the knee, sink your hips low. Exhale, fold over your left thigh, straightening your left knee. Inhale, bend your left knee, sink your hips, relax your shoulders. Exhale, hips go up and back, straight left leg, folding down. Inhale, low lunge, fingertips stay down onto the mat. Plant your palms down, step your left foot back to meet your right, high push-up pose. Lower all the way down onto your belly, maybe coming down onto your knees first. Chin and chest come down onto the mat. Cobra pose, just like we did the first time. Palms stay down. Inhale, chin and chest lift up. Keep breathing here. Hips stay down onto the mat. And then exhale, pull your heart down onto the mat. Come back into downward facing dog. Look forward to the top of the mat and slowly walk both feet in between your palms, and we'll bend the knees here, folding into a ragdoll pose. So let your belly comfortably rest over your thighs, and it might feel good to just hold on to opposite elbows here. Make sure that your neck is really relaxed so your head can just hang heavy, and maybe play with rocking your weight from the balls of your feet into your heels, making sure that your weight is evenly distributed, and don't worry about having straight legs here. We're just trying to lengthen through the spine. Breathing deeply all the way down into the belly. And then let's release fingertips back down onto the mat. Toe heel your feet together so that big toes are touching. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Let's come into chair pose. Palms come to the center of the chest. So we're taking quite a few breaths here in this chair pose, so make sure you have proper alignment. You want to rock your weight backwards, more into your heels. You're lengthening your tailbone down towards the earth, staying active through the abdominals here, sinking your hips down low, and reaching your heart forward so that you're not collapsing through the chest. Stay really nice and tall through the spine. Take 3 more breaths. Straighten the legs, coming out of chair pose. Release your arms, either side of your body. Stay really nice and tall here in mountain pose. And then as you inhale, both arms reach up, palms come to touch. Exhale, swan dive, bend at your knees, fold forward. Halfway lift, fingertips come onto the shins, heart reaches forward. And as you exhale, plant both palms down onto the mat and step back into downward facing dog. Lifting your hips up and back, staying strong through the arms. And then from here, as you inhale, right leg rises up towards the sky. Roll your right hip down so that your right toes are pointing down. And use the strength in your hamstrings to lift that leg and lightly step your right foot in between your palms to the top of the mat. Stay high on the ball of your left toes and come on up into crescent lunge. Keep your palms at heart center here, and maybe bend a little bit through that back left knee, keeping your hips underneath your shoulders. Right thigh is parallel to the ground and we'll come into a twist. Stay long through the spine and we'll hook our left elbow over the front of our right thigh. Keep pressing your palms firmly together here. You're trying to keep your hands almost at the center of your chest, rolling your shoulders down and away from your ears. And see if you can keep your left knee off of the mat. Just one more deep breath here, and then come back through to center and spin your back heel down parallel to the short edge of your mat. We're setting up for Warrior 2. Reaching through the arms, shoulders stay high up over your hips. You're bending your right knee, not letting your right knee go past your right ankle and sinking your hips down low. Take another deep breath here, strong through both legs. And then let's straighten through the right leg. We're going to come into triangle pose. Your hips go back, chest comes forward. Hold on to your right shin, left fingertips reach up towards the sky. Look wherever is comfortable here, and don't worry about how far down you're going your leg. You just want to maintain length through both sides of your ribs. Using your obliques to keep you up here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And let's slowly come up. We're going to reverse our triangle, so let your left palm go down your left leg and reach your right fingertips up and over. So both legs are still staying straight here. You might need to have a little bit of a micro bend, but we're just reaching and extending. Only one more breath here. We're not here too long. Come back through to center. Both palms come down onto the mat, back into downward facing dog, and we'll prepare to do the same thing on the second side. So this time left leg rises up towards the sky. You'll keep your left hip rolling down, left toes are pointing down. Strong through the arms, look to the top of the mat and lightly step your left foot in between your palms. Right at the top of the mat, staying high on the ball of your right toes here, preparing for your crescent lunge. Both arms reach up, find your balance. Palms come to the center of the chest, maybe bending a little bit into that back right knee, trying to get your left thigh parallel towards the ground. And we'll prepare for a twist, so keep the length through your spine here and hook your right elbow over your left thigh. If you need to lower your right knee down onto the mat, go ahead and do so, but we're going to try to keep it up for the extra challenge. Relax your shoulder blades down your back. Take 2 more breaths. Come back up through to center. Spin your right foot parallel to the short edge of your mat, coming into Warrior 2. Both arms reach out. Engage your abdominals here. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears, gazing through your middle left finger. Still bending deeply through that left knee, so that your hips can sink down low. Pressing firmly through both feet. Sink down a little bit lower. And let's come into triangle pose, straightening through your left leg. Start leaning forward, holding onto your left shin with your left hand, and right fingertips reach up towards the sky. Once again here, look wherever is comfortable. If there's any discomfort in your neck, just keep your gaze down low at your left foot. Try to stay as long as you can through both sides of your body here. Breathing deep into the belly. Use your obliques to slowly come back up. We'll reverse our triangle. This time your right palm goes down your right leg, left fingertips reach up and over. So it's almost like a side bend here. You're trying to get really long through the left side of your body. Only 1 more breath. And slowly come out of the pose, bending through the left knee. Both palms come down onto the mat, stepping into downward facing dog. And we're only here for about a breath. Start to bend your knees, coming down onto the mat. Wide like a child's pose, big toes come to touch, knees are apart. Melt your head and chest down onto the mat, just taking a few breaths right here. Finding length through the spine, breathing deep into the belly. Relaxing your hips down onto your heels. Staying soft through the upper back. And start slowly coming out of the pose. Lifting head and chest off of the mat. Come into your tabletop pose, palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And from here we'll come into lizard, so you'll want to step your right foot to the outside of your right palm, right beside your pinky. So your foot is almost towards the outside edge of your mat. And then either stay onto your palms or come onto some fists. We're here for about 10 or so breaths, just really sinking the hips down onto the mat. Getting a little bit deeper into the hamstrings, inner groin, hip flexors. And make sure that you're not tensing up your upper body here. You still want to make sure that your shoulders are rolling down and away from your ears. You're pressing your right knee towards your right arm. And trying to let your hips sink down as much as you can. About 5 more breaths right here. Step your right knee back, come back into your tabletop pose, and we'll switch sides. So this time your left foot steps to the outside of your left palm. And just like you did, we're letting our hips sink down as low as we can. Getting a nice deep stretch through your right psoas, right hip flexor. Hugging your left knee in towards your arm. And just distribute your weight evenly between both palms and your left foot. Try not to let too much pressure accumulate in your wrists here. 5 more breaths. come back into your tabletop pose. And then from here this time, we'll extend the right leg back and maybe see if the right leg will float off of the ground. Find your balance and then maybe reach your left arm out, balancing on your left knee and right palm only. Stay here. If you'd like to go deeper, bend your right knee and go hold on to your right ankle or right toes. Lifting that knee as high as you can, maintain a smooth, deep breath, almost out of the pose. Release your ankle, straighten your leg, straighten your arm, come back down onto the mat and we'll switch sides. Left leg reaches out behind you, lifting your left toes off of the mat. Find your balance. Right arm extends and reaches out. Stay here if this is the best pose for you right now, or start to bend through your left knee, reaching back and holding onto your left ankle. So you're getting a little bit of a back bend here, but mostly just trying to stretch out the front of your left thigh. Sending your toes up towards the sky, one more deep belly breath. And then slowly release, straightening both limbs, releasing back down onto the mat. And then slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. Inhale, come up into cobra. Chin and chest lift up, shoulders roll down and away from the ears, elbows hug in. And softly lower down as you exhale and turn over onto your back here. Bend both knees and hug both knees in towards the chest, maybe rocking gently from side to side, massaging the lower back. We'll be coming into bridge pose next, so you'll want to release your feet back down onto the mat. And make sure that your feet are hip-width distance apart. You want to be able to touch your heels with your fingertips. Relax your upper body and slowly start to curl your tailbone under, pressing your feet into the mat, lifting tailbone, lower back, and mid-back off of the ground. And we're here for about 5 to 10 breaths. So make sure that throughout this action, you're really curling tailbone under, you're hugging your inner thighs together and still breathing really deeply. Make sure that you're not holding your breath. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Take 5 more breaths here, pressing your hips up as high as you can. Keep hugging your inner thighs together. And really slowly start to release, rolling one vertebrae at a time until your hips come back down onto the mat. We'll be setting up for reclined pigeon pose. So please hook your right ankle over the top of your left thigh and maybe stay here if this is enough, or reach through and start pulling your left knee in towards your chest. Wherever you are, you want to make sure that head and shoulders stay fully relaxed down onto the mat. And make sure that you're not lifting your hips off of the ground too here. The entire length of your spine should be fully supported. Release your left foot back down onto the mat, uncross your legs, and we'll switch sides. Left ankle hooks over the top of your right thigh, and then maybe start pulling your right knee in towards your chest. Keep your left foot flexed here so you're protecting your knee. And just start slowing down your breath, releasing and relaxing from your practice a little bit. And let go of that side, releasing your right foot back down onto the mat. Uncross your ankle and we'll come into a spinal twist. So lift your hips, sending them a couple inches towards the right before dropping both knees over towards the left. Make sure that your right shoulder stays down onto the mat. If you want to make this twist deeper, you can always wrap your right thigh over your left. And we do these twists to really relieve any lower back pain or digestive issues. So make sure that you're breathing all the way down into your belly, into your lower back. Collarbones are facing up towards the sky. And maybe even closing the eyes. Deep breaths. Gently lift your knees back to center, and we'll go to the second side, so shift your hips a couple inches towards the left. Drop both knees over towards the right. Make sure that your left shoulder blade stays down on the mat this time, and if you want to deepen your twist, wrap your left thigh over your right before setting your knees down. Whatever you need to do to get comfortable in this pose. Take 5 more of your deepest belly breaths, seeing if you can relax and soften a little bit more with every exhale. Slowly lift both knees back to center, and we're going to come into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So go ahead and straighten your legs down onto the mat. Take up as much space as you're comfortable taking, and just come to rest in whatever shape feels more comfortable to you. Maybe allowing the eyes to close, rolling your shoulders down and away from your ears so that the back of the neck can stay nice and long. Use whatever breath is natural to you. Maybe allowing the eyes to close. Notice if you're holding on to any tension in the jaw, neck, or shoulders. Feel your belly softly rise and fall with the rhythm of your breath. Hips are heavy down into the mat. Legs are relaxed. And just enjoy stillness. Give your body this wonderful opportunity to relax and soften. And I encourage you to stay here as long as you would like to. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Namaste.